say. All praise to the Most High. The Most High said it's okay to rebuke your brother and correct him, but when it's done like that, it's driven by a different force. Everybody's not approachable on the truth either.
Shalom, family.
The Most High see it all like a coach. In Deuteronomy, we took the oath. A covenant that never can be broke. How dare you say I take the truth for jokes? Say it to my face, cause now I'm close. Watch your mouth before you start to call. You never chose. He making footstools on my foes. From the word of Christianity, find the truth so you can better see. Follow laws before you follow me. Repentance what we need to set us free. Hamashiach be giving me the keys. He died for these, yeah, he paid the fees. Spread the gospel here to overseas. I wanna roam like I was in Greece. Breathe. I wanna roam like I was in Greece. I fry that B like it was in Greece. Switch to B, humble, you a tease. That's unimportant, get back to the speech. That's the rule, I talk into my needs. Spread the gospel like it's a disease. With the kingdom, it's inside of me. Your spirit, wealth, your body, poverty. Be free if you just believe. I'm reading Torah just for the relief. I follow laws and I keep feast. My studio is how I street teach. Scriptures come alive when I read. That spirit come inside when I breathe. Daily I repent, I face the east. Forgive me, Father, praying on my knees. Breathe. Shall destroy every enemy before me. So they better think twice. The Most High is with me. All praise. I hate to hear Pharisees talk. They execution never what they talk. They always drift away from what they talk. They spirit body out, blind and chalk. Like 3 a.m., yeah, your spirit dark. Yeah, they righteous only in they thoughts. Always justifying when they caught. What you claim the title set apart. You challenge me when I wanted peace. Stop it, I got see your jealousy. Eternally, your problem not with me. Insecurity, your disease. I pray the Most High bless you with some peace. That tempted me, please let me be. You told me vengeance don't belong to me. That disappointed me to some degree. I'ma sit back and let them be, cause that is what the Father said to me. I'm gonna obey. The brother that's always talking, always criticizing, always making excuses for about another guy. Always sitting back,
Shalom, family.
waiting to see any little thing.
Grand Rising. Today's title is Nation of Blasphemy. After this intro, we're going to go Isaiah 40 is where we're going to be today. Let's just keep a note for yourselves. Isaiah 40.
In times. Okay, you took it too far. Come back to the covenant, Jacob. You spoiled, you used to be royal. The judges, they cover their faces. You fell in the hands of the wicked. Will you ever ask for forgiveness? It's such a tragedy, isn't it? Don't you remember them days? Back when the tribes were solid and none of the brothers had feminine ways. You had a temple in place. Back then you was Levitical. Why did you give it away? Just for a whip and a chain. We wasn't meant to be slaves. Your brother is still at your head. He never forgot what you did. He wishes the blessing was his. Look in your rearview mirror. You see them red and blue lights. Sorry you had it tonight. Keep calm. Hands on the wheel. This could be the end of your life. Gun in your face. Never read you your rights. What is this? Come back to the covenant, Jacob. Come back to the covenant, Jacob. We wasn't meant to be slaves.
Supposed to be free. Royalty. Royalty.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So the Most High decided to make a covenant with the nation of Israel, our fathers, and us after our fathers, because we're entering into their labors according to John chapter 4. So we can't take this covenant for granted. Because he didn't have to choose us, and also we enter into this covenant voluntarily. Come back to the covenant, Jacob. You spoiled, you used to be royal. The judges, they cover their faces. You fell in the hands of the wicked. Will you ever ask for forgiveness? It's such a tragedy, isn't it? We wasn't meant to be slaves. Now we mentally slaves. Wake out of slumber, Jerusalem. 144, suiting up. 12 tribes, suiting up. Really, what harm can they do to us? Except kill a body my soul is in. And that's all they can do, but I'm noticing. Fate was the cure to my hopelessness. So I picked up my cross and I'm toting it. Demons on me, here we go again. They just doing their job, I take no offense. I'm just gonna plead the blood and cast them out to the abyss. I can't believe we alive. I'ma keep letting us slide. Yasharala on the rise. We gon' do better this time. I'm willing. Get back to the covenant, Jacob. You was a royal priest. Why would you want to be basic? The judges, they cover their faces. You fell in the hands of the wicked. Will you ever ask for forgiveness? It's such a tragedy, isn't it?
Running back to the covenant, back to the covenant. Yep, Isaiah 40, fam. Let's get it. So, grand rises to you all. I pray you are having a swell, beautiful day. I'm sure that you are, if you are walking in the newness of life as a son and a daughter at the Most High. Y'all, I uploaded a video. I don't know if any of you got to see it, but in case you didn't, I'm going to reinforce what I said. It's so much goodness, and I'm trying to not be too loud, so I don't wake the babies. But anywho, they ought to be glad because I know they be sleeping. We went to their mother's house last night, and this testimony I'm about to show you is why I'm gonna let them sleep. Now, my beloved sister, right? Yasmin has blessed me with that jar, but although the jar broke, this lid is still good for something. So she gave me oils to burn, which were frankincense and myrrh. So I put them in here and in my daughter's little pot that she can, because I don't really have like a oil burning type thing. I was always inquiring of those kind of things, but because of children and I just felt cautious, I didn't know it. I didn't really bother with it. But now my first oils that I've always wanted to burn are frankincense and myrrh. This she doesn't. Oh, I pray that she does. I'm sure she does know how important and beautiful this was to me. I even took some of the oil of my fingers and just touch along my shofar so that it is anointed. So the smell aroma on it is frankincense and myrrh, and that in my vehicle I have the frankincense and myrrh balls in there, and once they get dried, I'll just soak them in some more, educate myself with that. But thank you again, Sis Yasmin, for that. So we're going to be in Isaiah 40 today, but first and foremost, let's give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High, in the name of His Son Yeshua.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, family.
All right. How you doing, baby?
Thank you, love you.
Love you.
Love you too.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
And then I'm going into what you would call like an office dining room.
Is there? Oh, that a reason? Oh.
And
he's talking to the
we have another
electric company. Just asking about our light bulbs.
We have another ceiling fan.
Moving along, beloveds. I gotta tell y'all.
It's
I
a
told my other.
piece.
Hold on, just wait.
We have one of them spiral things up in there, and then a regular light bulb. Yeah.
Oh, here comes Abadiah, y'all. We're just gonna play some music.
Well, the one I got the one that's
come back
spiral.
to the covenant, Jacob.
What do they call them? LEDs.
Covenant.
And then a regular.
Oh, I got another one for you.
Regular light bulb.
By this beloved brother.
And the other two, they're empty.
I'm gonna try to get his name. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
It's his channel's called Humble for Yah. Babe, you're disturbing my thing. Can you please get out of here? Is he done answering your questions? Because I'm live. Thanks.
We hadn't even scratched the surface of
Check this brother out.
of God's essence.
Humble for Yah.
God got a
Lit.
Lit.
Every single one of them.
He has a lot
Every
of
single song.
ideas and adventures. He has a lot of great ideas, but his people's not tapping in it.
I'll go into my testimony after
If you
this.
let inadequacies keep you from being active, you're telling God that he's not even worth anything. But when you say, God, you want to use this vessel? Please use me. Because God's going to show the world just how much he can do in a person with little. God doesn't care about the qualified. They're caught up in their own knowledge and wisdom. He cares about the people who don't have anything on their resume, but they got the Holy Spirit in them. Anybody else? Any questions? I can hear the roar when it talk. Holy Spirit move me with a thought. Never go against it what you thought. I'm an Israelite, we follow laws. If you love him, then you will follow his laws. They think it's done away with, but they off. They don't want to hear it cause it's hard. Just because you don't believe don't make it false. Silly. Merge my mind and will it need a wash. I can smell the ending and it's coming, need a watch. Scratch that flavor, I need a clout. And that ruach, how could that she be my clout? Spiritual warfare, yeah. The dudes be thinking it's sweet, killing them all here, yeah. We knocking them all
I don't like
from out of
this.
the cross, yeah, yeah.
That's why I think I'm gonna turn it around again. Pardon me, because it's all low.
Don't mistake it for sorcery, cause that is borderline blasphemy. It's just best you don't come for me. I got angel that'll blasphemy. Serve for my Shiach happily. Watch him running like an athlete. Plus,
I caught that in the spirit.
I can hear the roar when it talk. Holy Spirit move me with a thought.
That's why I
Never go against it what you thought.
So that they
I'm
don't
an
have
angel, let me follow laws. If you love him, then you will follow his laws. They think it's done away with, but they off. They don't want to hear it cause it's hard. Just because you don't believe don't make it false. Think they hard, so they call themselves attacking me. Got me fired up. Chapter 7, second Maccabees. School of hard knocks, yeah, my angels be my faculty. Let them bust a move, the spiritual war gon' end with a casualty. Raphael grabbed the demons, Gabriel put him through it. Uriel aimed the arrow, Miguel gotta pull it. Using the sword of the spirit, the demon they see it and fear it. Energy big as a planet, they cannot dodge a bullet. You better off if you repay and get the most high, you're a legion.
That's right.
Drop the ball, got me bent. You ain't got the ball like defense. We getting close to the end. I can see the pattern like sequence. I'm the rapper that he sent to. One of the people that's decent to. Turn away from your ways, that's a praise. Don't go astray or make them wait and delay. Do not play, get it straight in the faith. Could you be told, really, you can die today. I can hear the roar when it talk.
Okay, so now that we done allow, praise the Father for that beautiful blessed song that brother has shared with us. So I want to go into Isaiah 40 in the word tip today, and I want to share a testimony. Try to not be too loud. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm doing a little girl's hair that's been staying with me. I don't know if y'all seen our Shabbat lesson we had just the Sabbath past. And the day before, I had let her go to her house to get some more clothes and stuff like that. And there was a bat that flew past me, and I rebuked it. Okay, rebuked the bat. And went home. I'm talking about I rebuked it with authority in the name of Yeshua. Because I'm talking to her, and the bat flew past me. I said, how dare that bat fly past me? See, some people think it's just an animal. See, I'm a bearer of Kodeshness. See, these things can't come around me and have their fecal matter. Not to say that it can affect me because I am a bearer. So my Father keeps me. It's Him that keeps me from all things. However, I will not tempt Him. So I was like, oh no, I rebuked that thing. I mind you, I'm going to show y'all how I did it, right? I'm going to just show y'all, beloved brothers and sisters. I'm not sure about this camera view because when I am on it, I'm not really seeing. Okay, that's good. All right. So I'm talking to her like this, okay, family? Talking to her like this. And the back does one of these joints. Goes past me like that. I said, I rebuked. I turned this way and rebuked like that. Do you know the very next day, that's where the bat lie dead? She said about 3 of them bats died. Most High struck them bats. She said one bat was gliding across the floor like it was retarded. I said, oh, I rebuked him in the name of Yeshua yesterday. Hallelujah. Grand Rising. Oh, okay. Go ahead, princess. All right. My baby girl had to walk by. So, Grand Rises. If y'all was interested about that song I was just playing, that was brought to you by this channel called Humble for Yah. It looks like that, like a yellow background, brother with two locks and like a ponytail, and yeah, you can check that channel out. It's pretty nice. I like his music. All right, Isaiah 40. All right, so bottom line, again, I forgot. Thank you all for bringing that to my remembrance. Before I get into the scriptures, bottom line, what I want y'all to understand is that I've been telling Shelly about a lot of the stuff in the scriptures, and she always said to me, well, she grew up in Catholic church, but she always used to say to them, it don't make no sense that you tell me I gotta say all this Hail Marys and all this stuff. She said, and something inside of me told me I can just talk to him. She said, I don't like like how you know him, how can you get to him more than I can? She was like, so I never really believed that. She's always believed it was one. She said Trinity never made sense to her. She was like, I always was like, it's only one God, like all this sons and all this. So she said, it just doesn't make any sense. And I was like, you're right. We were talking about a lot of stuff, and so then the girls mentioned that there was a doll that was winking at them, and it wasn't a winking doll, and they said she smiled and she frowned one time. I said, oh, get that thing up out of here, okay? And then, mind you, the doll was a brunette with blue eyes. I never really seen a brunette with blue eyes. I've seen a blonde with blue eyes, but her hair was the kind of brown. If you look at it in a certain light, it came off red, and her eyes had the nerve to gleam red at me. So I said, get that thing up out of here. We did a nice cleaning. I said, yes, and take that dream catcher down. That's idolatry. That cross, get that down. See, this is what the word says. You got to get stuff out. And the reason why I say that the Most High is no respecter of persons, is what I'm starting to say, because she started having conversations with me about things where I'm looking at her like, do you know the law? Who been teaching you? Now, either she's been watching, because a lot of these Gentiles have been watching us, and they, by fear of the Most High, are saying I got to do right. She was like, as a child when she was growing up, because her mother was Italian and her father was German and Irish. And she said, he used to try to make me eat Italian pork sandwich, sausage. And she said, I would have a gag reflex. I just didn't want to eat it. She said, it made me sick. And even to this day, she said, when she looks in her grocery cart at pork and stuff, she feels disgusted. So the Most High is putting spirit, he said, on all flesh. Whatever people yield, they yield to the spirit he puts on them. Whatever spirit he puts on them is the spirit they're going to be subject to. Let's just say that. Everybody's not subject to the spirit of being as one of his own. Some people are subject to the spirits of his wrath, his vengeance, and other things of such, according to his plan. But keeping it quite honest with you all, it was beautiful to know that when I went there yesterday, just speaking to her, I don't know what I was talking to her about, but when I had seen that bat fly past me, I rebuked the whole bat. Okay, rebuked it, and she said the very next morning she came out, and it was all this poop on her chairs and stuff. These bats had did, so she said they'd never done that before, and that told me that was retaliation spirit. And I told her, I said, no, I rebuked them. The Most High dealt with them. I said, but your house has to become set up. You have to become a law keeper to keep these kind of things away. See, that's exorcist Catholic people don't teach you. They're exorcist people. They're the ones that actually come to bring the wicked stuff in the houses. They're not removing. It's simple. All you have to do to make yourself and your home set apart is get rid of any idolatry, any symbols, anything that has something, anything some man that made up and said, oh, um, dream catchers, for example. Oh, this is to catch the bad dreams. And I said to the young children, catch the bad dreams and do what with them? And they're supposed to stay in your house. You just want to keep them. And the beautiful princess said to me, "You're right. That would be keeping them in my house. Like you need to get rid of this." So Tali started breaking it down. She started tearing it down. And I'm looking at her like, look at the Most High's work. This is the next generation. The next generation, our children growing up, when they our children are our age, you think we playing? A lot of our people right now are fighting for black as us as a nation, black, because that's where our oppression lies heavy. But it's like the Most High, when his army is raised, they're going to be talking about righteousness. It's going to the next level. Now the problems are going to upgrade as he upgrades the people, just like they upgrade the phones. It's like when you start fasting and you get used to doing one day, or you get to doing more fasting, you start going to higher realms and levels of dealing with spiritual principalities. You start becoming, more equipped for certain battles. But mind you, after the rebuke of the bats, there was a retaliation towards my knee. So I just, every time I felt it, I was supposed to rebuke it, but I could say, my knee hurt. So be careful of what you confess, of what you give the stamp of approval to do to you. Because not only did it do it to me, but it did it to Zion. Because the little doll that they had that was doing the winking and blinking, they threw that doll. And Zion, before we threw her, Zion jumped on her, took her and kneed her in half, okay? And then we tossed her over the thing. It was like the Most High. It was late. The Most High doesn't care. He put his spirit on these children. These children are getting strong for him. These children are beginning to see how the Most High is not playing. And I'm so proud of them. And so, all glory and praise God to the Most High for that. We're going to get into Isaiah 40. Father, we just pray that through your spirit you bless the reading of your word to the edification of your saints and those that are seeking you in truth, that are hungry and thirsty for righteousness and not for the gain of themselves. I guarantee you a lot of those little witches that probably watch me and can't stand children, because I know majority of the time there's more that watch me that don't like what I'm saying. But just understand this. The Most High has equipped those for the job and task he's given us for everything we need. There's nothing you can take from us or you can offer us that's going to have anything to differ us from the task at hand. Mine made up, and I won't look back. So, if they think they can try to conjure something up in the little doll or whatever, it's a wrap. Most High, we threw that John to the railroad tracks. Started to burn her, but yeah, she's thrown away. Comfort ye, my people, Savior Ishiohim, Isaiah 40. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her comfortably. Most I says, speak in a comfort way, not speak in a haughty way. Okay. Cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of a high hand double for all her sins. Hallelujah. That's beautiful. Oh, Father, right now we thank you. Through your spirit, of your Holy Kodesh Spirit, we give glory unto you in spirit, Father, for giving this verse. We already see, this chapter, we already see where we're going. We thank you, Abba. We love you. So be it. Yes, comfort ye, my people. Remember we was reading the other day about what was that? Let me see. I got my notes right here on Shabbat. I believe it was. Probably a few days before it was Ecclesiasticus, or known as Sirach, chapter 30, 22 through 25, and it says, love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein, no profit in sorrow. Isaiah 40 says, comfort ye, comfort my people. So,
Look at me, I'm naked.
Okay.
I get my cookie.
Okay. Comfort yourself and comfort the people. Okay. Because your iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received. That is so much to rejoice about. He said, "Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of a highest hand double for all her sins. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of a higher, make straight in the desert a highway for our Ishiohim. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain." Hallelujah. This is what he gave us today for the read. Let me get my precepts available and read because this was, unless I let the Spirit lead me on it. Hey, I don't got it. I'll just let the Spirit guide it. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight. Look at that. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. Wow. Wow. Our deliverance. Yea, though I walk through a valley shall death. So we living in valleys. Our valleys of death in that in the ghettos is where he's going to be exalted. Basically, in his people, not in the ghettos of those unrepented, but just he is already part. It said, listen here, go up to verse 1. This needs to be the truth, giving key gospel to those to give them undeniable faith and hope. Watch this. Comfort ye my people, save your Ishiohim. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. It's already accomplished. That her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of a highest hand double for all her sin. You already received the punishment. This is where we are now. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of a higher, make straight in the desert a highway for our Ishiohim. Make straight in the desert. When you say desert, that means any area of drought in your life. You need the water, the living waters, to spring forth inside of you. But that only applies to those that believe on him according to the scriptures. According to the scriptures have said, out of their bellies shall flow rivers of living water. If their bellies is having rivers of living water, that means they're never going to be dry as a desert, and they're going to be giving water and life to others around them, like Yasha did to the sister at the well. And the glory of Ahiah shall be revealed. Oh, come on. And all flesh shall see it. Come on. Together, for the mouth of Ahiah has spoken it. Come on. Let's read that again. Y'all better stop playing with me. That is beautiful. The voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? Let me read verse 5 one more time. I'm sorry. You don't mind. And the glory of Ahiah shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Ahiah has spoken it. What is he talking about? You're going to see the exalting of his people. You're going to see when we are once was drought, going to have the flourishing of his water. They may be planning vaccinations and death traps and all this stuff, but like Yasha said, destroy this temple, and I will raise in 3 days. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the spirit of Ahiah bloweth upon it. It's the spirit of who? All through his word, which in his son is the testimony of the word, he is identified as the spirit. The Father is a spirit. So why then do Trinities need a Father be mentioned and a spirit? They are the same thing. Right here you can see it. Isaiah 40. You can go to his prophet Isaiah. He'll show you. Right here. Isaiah 40, verse 7. Ahiah blow upon it. Because, let's start at because, all right? Because the spirit of Ahiah, spirit of who? Of Ahiah. That's what the natives would have called back in the days the Great Spirit. Oops, excuse me. Bloweth upon. Bloweth. Okay. The grass wither. Okay. O Zion. Verse. No, we didn't get verse 8. Yeah. The grass withereth, the flower faded, but the word of our Ishiohim shall stand forever. What's going to stand forever? our king. Who is he? Torah. What is he? A king, sovereign king, who's coming to what? Rule and reign. And if he says he's going to stand forever, he's the one king that knocks the other kingdoms down and it will never be moved. Yasha is the kingdom. He is the cornerstone of the kingdom. The word is the kingdom. That's why I told people, some Gentiles, when you're praying for thy kingdom come, do you understand what you're praying? Said you're praying for the new Jerusalem to come down here. You're praying for the kingdom of the wicked ones to be removed so that the righteous ones, the upright, we can get in position. So that's what you're praying. I have no problem with it. As long as you understand what you're praying and you continue to be in agreement with that, I'm fine. But in other words, we will not do things in ignorance. I don't really give a John Brown who you are. I'm going to tell everybody around me. So if you're around me, you know what I'm on and you know how to deal with me. Just got some news. I had prayed when my neighbor moved out. The most I wouldn't let nobody move in here that I don't believe they will not be in agreement of a spirit towards me, racist and all that kind of stuff. So most I granted had this guy named Chris, white guy, and his wife. He might move in. They nice though. I was talking with a wife. Her name's Dawn, and she's very health conscious. She's I'm not with pharmaceuticals. She told Brian because when Sandy was here, she was all petty over the park, and she was like, "Oh, we're not like that." She said, "We told him that the children can have all the space they need to go swimming or have fun. We'll park on the side." It was like, "If we're ever loud without noise, please let us know." Came very, very respectful. Came upright. That's why I try to explain to people upright is a way of being. It's not really just assigned to those who are Yasharan. We're called Yasharan because we're called to be upright, which means the standard must always be with us. However, when I see Gentiles that present themselves upright, I'm like, wow. I'm just like the Mashiach when he was on the earth, when he seen Gentiles impressing him far more than his children. It's sad. But those times are going to change because we're going to comfort Zion. We're going to comfort his people in the truth because our sins have been already pardoned. So what does that tell you? We have a rock and cornerstone of redemption for us, just like Alexander H. Stevens had. Their cornerstone was that we have to be, inferior to them. That we have to be under them. O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain, O Jerusalem, that bringeth good tidings. Lift up thy voice with strength. Lift up, be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your Ishiohim. When he say behold, in other words, we got to go to the cities of where our people are at. Take heed. Listen to what your father said for you. You are comforted. You have been. You're not trodden down anymore. Come back to the covenant, Jacob. You're spoiled. You used to be royal. You fell in the hands of the wicked. They covered the face of the judges. Come on, y'all. Verse 10. Behold, the sovereign Ahijah will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Now, the reason why I've got this video titled Nations of Blasphemy is because, first off and foremost, if the Son is a living word, and the word is the Son, and anybody cover or change the Son or anything, and the Son said, the words I speak to your spirit and life. You don't just focus on the man. You understand that the man was a veil of the manifestation of the living word. You understand that if the word is spiritual, to speak against the word is also speaking against the spirit, which is also blasphemy. Do you understand that's a sin that's not forgiven? So the nations of the Gentiles are cursed with blasphemy. Not all of them, because the only nation that really resurrected an image and told the gospel truth in wrong error was the nation of the devil, which would blaspheme. Because remember, let's go to Matthew 24. Yahshua said after he went to visit the disciples, he said, I leave, but the prince of this world come after me. He has no place in me. If the prince of this world came after him, what did the prince of this world come with? The prince of this world came with a false doctrine. The prince of this world came with blasphemy and mockery, everything against the Creator. So, When you read Matthew 24, and Yahshua says in verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. He said, when this gospel. Why did he say this gospel? Because there's a gospel that was going forth that brought his people in bondage, and it was the end for his people. So when his truth goes forth, it's going to be the end for some other people. And our beginning, our jubilee is the nations of blasphemers end, the 13 families. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Family of blasphemers. That's what I call you. Vipers. Your children were called vipers in the day of Yehochanan and my big brother Yasha, when they were back there teaching our people Judaism then. Judaism as a form of something that they think is related to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but it was really Baal and all the other stuff that I have in the back of this Bible that talks to us about El. People need to get more understanding on that El, because when the Most High gave me the revelation of this, then he revealed to me that everything called by that name is what? Of that name, right? So then he pointed out about the angels. Let's just read. The highest commandment not to worship hinder gods. Elohim, okay, is another one. Deuteronomy 30, verse 17 through 19. Only 100 years later, the Holy Scriptures became polluted with the pagan titles Elohim, Adonai, God, and Lord. At the time, the use of these pagan terms was accepted and used by the copyists to replace Ahai's name or to identify him in their writing. However, these pagan words cannot identify Ahai, our creator, because they are titles of Satan and her angels. It says her angels on here. I guess you call her because that Baphomet thing is what they call trans. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. In the Unger's Bible Dictionary, page 67 states that the word El denotes either God or a god. In the Ugaritic literature, El refers to the chief god of the Canaanite pantheon, the father of Baal. Okay, the father of Baal. So El is a Canaanite word meaning God or devil. That's all. So Elohim is a translation for devil or pagan deity. So when somebody says Elohim, they're saying their father is the devil. When we say Ishiohim, we're talking about the husbandman of the, like the Yasha said, I am divine and my father is the husbandman. We're talking about the one of John, Yehochanan 15. We're talking about the one that Yehochanan testified of. We're not talking about the one Canaanites testified of. Difference. Let me remind you all, we weren't just commanded not to stay away from Edomites, but we were commanded to stay away from Canaanites as well. We were not to get with them. That's why Judah was punished. Judah, the patriarch, the Judah, he laid with Canaanite women while he was drunk. It's in the testimony of Judah. And begot daughters. Most High was, I'm not giving you no man of these Canaanite women. You see, in ancient mythology, the most popular goddesses came to earth in a ball of fire. Understand, we just got them talking about Elohim, Lord, God, and Lord, or whatever, right? Those being Baal. Then it says those are all the names of Satan and her angels. I'm like, why is it called her? Daughter of Babylon, right? Daughters of Babylon, right? You think about it. Then it starts talking about goddesses. Do you know all the pagans worship female deities? So why am I not surprised that her is mentioned? In ancient mythology, the most popular goddesses came to earth in a ball of fire. Do you know of anyone that they've told the story of? I think one was called Astartes. Then you got the Isis ones. You know, all those, Father forgive me for those default names, all those female deity. And there's other ones too. He said the meteorites were scared and honored for their perceived relationship to the arrival of the goddess. The ancient Nabateans, who disappeared in the 1st century BCE near Emesa, Syria. They disappeared near Syria, so the Most High removed them before. That's what that means. The Creator abolished them, just like He did with the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, and in the earth, what He did with the days of Noah. Okay. And if it says near Syria, Syria, right? So then that would tell you when people went back to Syria, and Syria been resurrected as the ancient deeps. That means the territorial ancient demons there. That when the Assyrians came, they were worshiping the deity of this Canaanite because the Assyrians were Canaanites. Problem. I mean, not Assyrians, but they were doing almost the same paganism thing like the Canaanites. They all are heathens. All right. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Mom, is that Gatorade liquor?
What?
Is that Gatorade liquor?
No, that Gatorade's a bomb bomb. I told Daddy don't bring it in. I'm gonna throw it away. Your dad probably did put some in there. And
got some.
pour that. Chris, don't drink that stuff. They said there's human stuff in the Gatorades.
I did. And I did.
Why? Didn't I tell you not to drink that?
You can't drink that Gatorade.
Don't drink it anymore. I'm pouring it out the drink. I should have threw it out when I saw it. All right. And the ancient emisses who suddenly appeared in the 1st century BCE near Emesa revere a scared black stone. So GLCC just had a video about Allah. Now we're talking here about Elohim, Satan, and her angels, and we're talking about goddesses, and then it talks about the ancient Nabateans who worship a stone, a black stone. What people you know who worship Allah, which is a female goddess? It's a deity, female deity. Okay, and they kiss a black stone. That they get on one side of it, it's like kissing inside of her. This is sick. The Nabateans, and guess what? The Syrians, they saying, guess what? The Ishmaelites, or people who keep the worship of Islam, Allah, black or whatever, you worshiping Satan. Either way you chop it, Allah is of the devil. There's no way around it. You cannot honor him. You cannot reference him. Oh, you cannot pollute the tables according to Malachi first. Let's go there. I need to go to the prophets on some of these people because some people think they slick. Mosai's not playing that. And Jimmy go to Malachi. I think it's Malachi. Was it Micah? Malachi's nearly right before you get out of here. And have a name. Micah. Jonah. And it's towards the end. Malachi's right before. There it goes. So Malachi, and according to Malachi, chapter 2, it says, "And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear and if you will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name," he says, "my name, saith the high of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings." When he says priest, that's talking about anybody who puts herself in a position to be an edifier to people coming out of his word. I don't care if you live in another life and you conquer yourself, opening up, talking about there's some gems in the Bible. This is particularly to beloved Vicky Diller. If she happens to find this video. We can't play those kind of games. You can't be talking about Islam and then take gems from the Bible. It doesn't work like that. You see, people say, oh, well, this is actually the same. Allah is the same one, Most High. I'm sorry, but it's not. He said in Malachi, if you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart and give glory unto my name, okay? It means make reference to who you're talking about. Can you imagine? This is a vision that Allah has given me. You're sitting, all of the deities are like in the galaxy. The Most High is the blanket of all in all. He's there. They don't see him, but he is the existing power. But he has a son to be the extension image of him sitting on the throne. People are worshiping these other deities with song and flute and tune, right? Then they try to come over here to Ahaya, the great I am, and bring that same tune and sing. And he's like, whistles. The angels before him are like, halt that mess. Don't you even bring me that defilement, because the tables of your worship is polluted. It sounds like bracket, because the tables of which you're ministering and the name is polluted, because that's not my name. Give glory to my name, thus saith Bahia. Yeah, saith Bahia of hosts. I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yeah, I will have cursed them already, because you do not lay it to heart. You don't take it serious when it comes to his name. You think it's a game. And if you how you gonna take it serious if you didn't do the research on it? That's why you go on the Bible, it tells you, and not Bible, you get this one here. This one will tell you what time it is. Because it has pagan terms in the back of it removed. It exposes all these elves, lords, gods, and all this stuff. It tells you that you're saying Bali. Notice when it was acknowledging those things, it said Satan and her angels. Remember, her angels, which fall with her, are called by her name. They have now been, according to the new, they have taken on the image and obedience unto the fallen, Lucifer. They have not taken heed to the Most High's commandments. So they're not called by his name. So all these angels with the elves and stuff are of El, who is the father of Dal. It's right here. I'm gonna highlight it. It's in your. Let me type it in the chat so that you can Google this. Search this. Unger Bible Dictionary. L. Okay, look up E and it's capital, right? Which is father of Baal. You gotta understand, people. When it says the devil has deceived the whole world, he tried to manipulate everyone to worship him. He had to trick everyone to do it. So we've all were once doing paganism. So we've all been already deceived. But we already had before the deception went forth, the foundation was already laid sure. The Redeemer was already there from the beginning, and he is the existing, because the word stands sure. Cornerstone already laid, though rejected by man, already laid. You understand? If you look at the whole, if you were to see things from the perspective of the Father, you were sitting beyond the globe, and you're looking down at the globe, and your assignment, your gift is sent forth to do something in the earth. A little bitty ants on the side are like, no, 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 to a lamb. That's what the man are to the Father. He's like, y'all just ants right now. Y'all have no idea how major this plan is. You're rejecting him now, but later on, for centuries, you'll be begging for him to come back, and you'll be glorifying him. Because you'll realize the gospel truth once I bless it as he broke the word. Once the word was broken, then it was able to be blessed and given. For he brake the bread and he blessed it. And the Father increased, even with the fish and the loaves of bread. Even at the Passover, he blessed. Even when he came back, he blessed. And their eyes were open. So the blessing of the Most High is going to open your eyes to the truth of his word, that you will no longer call on those pagan deities, and you will no longer argue with those who are proclaiming and declaring his name, because you'll be afraid, because you'll know what time it is. You'll know. I don't say that in a sarcastic, bragging way, but you'll overstand and understand, spiritually stand that it's truth. Okay, only truth is fault. Okay. And yes, I hear that Nick Cannon was declaring his brand for Wild and Out. And this is why the laws of the Most High are perfect, converting the soul, making wise the simple. That's why Farrakhan can't convert you, because if you're converted according to Farrakhan and his little ideologies tied to Islam, you don't really have the transformation, man. You don't really have the transformation power that is given to the melanated black man. Okay? Because the reasoning is, you will speak about something that is oppressing you not knowing the cause of it, you'll be fighting the one that is the face of it, and you'll still be bondage to it because you don't understand the way to get free from it. Yasha is the only way. The word of the Most High is the only way. If you feel some kind of way because it's a King James, then get you something that says the scripture, a higher Yasha. Like Google's a Bible that says no pagan terms in it. That way you'll find your way to the Creator with no paganism. That's where you'll find Him. People want to identify and give. The guy Grandmaster Jay wants to give explanation for the thing around his neck. Most High's watchers ain't buying it. I don't give a John Brown what you know about how deep the meaning of is it. People who never held on to idolatry. Remember, even in history, from the times when the Europeans first came here, it was well aware that they made notes that the Europeans were materialistic people. So people are materialistic, need materialistic things to identify and feel gratified, and that was the thing the most I was trying to check us within the wilderness. There you go, building a daggone golden calf. You're acting like the heathen. You just gotta have something to say here. Can you not accept that I'm a spirit? Can you just not accept that the true worshipers must worship me in spirit and in truth? Truth in His word. Spirit means beyond the veil. Let's go back to Isaiah 40. Okay. Verse 11. I am Ahai, and beside me there is no Savior. Oh, that is all the confirmation I need on His name. Let me tell you something. Isaiah, the prophet, also confirms His name. Just something like Yehohanan the Baptist. I've seen that in Isaiah 43. Now here we are. Oh, that's what I was reading, Isaiah 43. There it is. We're in Isaiah 40. That's the turn of page. But yeah, Isaiah 43, verse 11. I am Ahai, and beside me there is no Savior. So what's His son's name? Yasha, which means Savior. So who is the Father? So He's the Savior. So He said, there is no Savior beside me, which means I am the Savior. There's none beside me. There's a Savior. What He's trying to tell you is, if my name don't mean Savior, somebody coming beside me on some other way is a thief and a robber. And my sheep know my voice, and they will not answer. They won't. Guess what? And they won't call me by that, and they will not call me by their name either, is what He's saying too. O Zion, that bringest good tidings, get thee up into the high mountains. I read that. We were in verse 11 of 40. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm. Let's get the precept right there. Let's just stop. Okay. You know I love you. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna dig into this. Okay. Ezekiel or Ezek 34:23. I'm not saying ill because he's not a prophet of Baal. 34 Ezek 34. Let me see. I'll just keep my Bible open today and just turn to it here. That way I don't got it. 34:23. Yeah. Okay. 23. That frankincense and myrrh smells so good. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, the Most High, will be their power, and my servant David, a prince among them. I, the Most High, have spoken it. Let's get the precept for that servant, David. And I'm playing Jeremiah 30, verse 9. Jeremiah 30, verse 9. As I was telling Shai, see, the Gentiles was not supposed to teach these scriptures. They're not supposed to do this. They don't belong to them. Let's see. Oh, what's I in? 24:23. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't want to lose my spot in this one. I need bookmarks. Keep this all. Okay, so pick this one for Ezekiel 34. Okay. And Jeremiah 30. And then I got a bookmark here for Isaiah 40. Let's keep that open right there. And then put a bookmark in this one. Pardon me, because the reason why I have one that is precept ready and my higher one isn't. So this is why I need to have this one for my backup to maneuver some of the turn pages to go back and forth upon the tables as we're commanded to. That's how the word really was. It wasn't page-wise, it was table form. Isaiah 40. I was on verse 11. And so Ezekiel 34, 23. Okay, so 34, 23. And then if I put the book. Okay, so I want to highlight that. That's why I'm going back. Please pardon me. I just wanted to highlight this. I did lose my spot. I'm sure of them. Okay. Highlight that. Most High said, I will set up. Most High said, I will set up. That means he's going to appoint someone to shepherd over us, and he shall feed us. What is he going to feed us? The Torah, the truth. Okay. Even my servant David, he shall feed them. And he shall be their shepherd. So he tells you who the servant's going to be. David, who is the Most High referring to as his David, the one after his own heart, Yasha. No one's up after his own heart like Yasha. Even David talked about Yasha. And I, the Most High, will be their power. So he said he will be back unto us. That means we're going to be back in our righteousness and royalty. And my servant David, a prince among them, I have spoken it, say the Most High. So we get the precept for his servant, like I said earlier. Okay. Which in here, I don't know if y'all can see in the middle of y'all things. Y'all look at it. It gives y'all alphabets and then it tells you scriptures. That's what the precepts are, if you didn't know. So that would be Jeremiah 30, verse 9. So Jeremiah 30, verse 9. That's what I was trying to do. I just couldn't find that verse. All right, so I put a bookmark here. And I got one there, Jeremiah 39. 30, verse 9. Come on. But they shall serve the Most High their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Thou, Mommy, therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Yaakov. Be mean to me. I'll come up here in a minute. Don't stop being mean, Hefzibah. You're not. She being mean because you just can't get your way. So, who is David? You talking about? Yasha. Even David, King David, talked about one that was going to be his king, his sovereign, his leader. Okay, so in Mashiach. Can you mean the hop? What? You mean the hop? No, baby. So the Most High is appointed a ruler on this earth. Just like he allowed other kings to rule and appointed, but they were temporary. He's appointed Yahshua to be the ruler on the earth. He's going to be. Okay. Let's go back to Isaiah 40. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm. Gather the lambs. So he's going to gather the elect, his lambs, okay, with his arm. And also I said, with my righteousness of my right arm shall I redeem you. And carry them in his bosom. And shall gently lead those that are with young. Oh, see that? Gently lead those that be with young. So if you said, I'm going to be okay. Notice the beginning of this Isaiah 40, beloveds. He said, comfort ye, comfort yourself in Isaiah and in my word in the prophets. Comfort yourself and comfort one another's. And what? Knowing that your sins have been pardoned, you're redeemed. That is something that you should rejoice in. So if you're busy rejoicing in him, pardon your sin, you're not going to want to do the sin. You're going to feel so appreciative that you're going to come back to him and do what he requires of you. With the contrite and the broken heart. And not only that, but as unto a child. You're not going to let knowledge puff you up, but you're going to let the Spirit fill you up. Not knowledge. For knowledge puff you, that's like leavening. You want the wisdom of the Holy Spirit to be the source of your knowledge. So that way you always stay humble. who have measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven, meted out heaven with a stone, and and comprehend the dust of the earth in a measure, and weigh the mountains in scales. Do you understand the dust of the earth in measure? He comprehends us in our measure of whether we're good or bad. We made from the dust. All right. Dust of the earth in measure, and weigh the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance. Who have directed the spirit of Ahiah, or being his counselor, have taught him? Who have taught him? With whom took he counsel? Who instructed him and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding? Nobody ain't teach the spirit of the Most High nothing. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. Precept, you'll notice in Esdras. Okay, second Esdras. 15, I believe. Or 13, whereas in my understanding, the nations are as counted as nothing. They are as spit from a bucket. Okay. Here it is, the precept in Isaiah 40. Behold, the nations are as a drop of bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Look how he takes up their dwelling. The isles. We're the valley. They're considered the isle. And look how he takes consideration of it. Just as much as they are leaders take consideration of us. He feels that that's righteous, and I feel it is righteous as well. When you understand it from how they first set the precedence against his children, you feel that it's only righteous for him to love his children the way he does. And also great news as well, beloveds. Got a notification this rising that the pool will be here on Monday, the 7-foot pool that I was so in doubt that things was secure about the website and things of such. And always been with me on the transactions ever since. I'm grateful for that. It looks like they even actually sent the 10 feet when I only paid for 7. We'll see when we get here. If that's the case, hey, it's even more better grounds for those to be immersed. Because then I'm going to be calling for those who want to be immersed to come on and get immersed. I'm not playing specifically within this month. I'm going to get as many immersions as we can. Who have measured the waters in the hollow? Okay, let's go for verse. I was actually in 16. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient to burn for an offering. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn. They try to say Lebanon is like the place where they try to call where his glory is, or maybe just try to come off with something like this is a manifestation. Most of us say it's not sufficient to burn unto me as a sacrifice, nor is the animals even. Nope, don't even try. All nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Because they are materially tied to their things. They worship the things they put on them. They don't understand it's for nothing they do is for the glory of the Most High. It's for the glory of themselves. Vanity. That's why he said they're nothing to him. The nations are filled with vanity. But if you be of the nation, you come out of that mindset and seek the Most High in righteousness because of someone's good works that make you want to glorify our Father, which in the Shamayim. Hey, by all means, be our guest. That's rewards for us in the Shamayim. Blessed is the one who wins souls is wise. Souls. He didn't say, he said souls. So it is what it is. But especially if you get the souls of your brethren. Those are the souls he wants. Those are the souls he wants. All right. Verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. To whom will ye like an issue? So in other words, is there any deities that you have that you can compare unto ours? That stands like this because all of your deities want everybody to come unto them. That's the difference of our Father and theirs. The deities of the world. Anybody can just quickly be a Buddhist, could do Jehovah's Witness, Islam, all that stuff. But with the truth, it's a covenant thing of those who become converted. You have to lead. It's a change of life. Everything's a change of life when you come into this fold. Okay. Verse 19. The workman melteth a graven image, and the goldsmith spreadeth it over with gold and casteth silver chains. This was precept in Jeremiah on that rebuke to these demons with their paganism when they thought that Easter and Christmas was all like just the most high. This was practices they did tied to other deities. So here is Isaiah exposing this in another form, how they take the crafts and stuff like this. They make, these images of gold and silver and stuff like that, and they make themselves, images of deities that they want to call gods or goddesses, and then they put jewelry on them. Because Baal is like in the throne in Haiti or whatever, he sits like on a statue of like gold. It's like he's the god of this stuff, of this world. Like he's the god of monetary in this kingdom, because Yasha said, store up your treasures in the Shamayim, and on their money is their faces. Right? Their faces, and they tell you who they worship. The God. It says God. You understand, it's not talking about nothing to do with the Ishiohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We know God, according to the pagan Nabateans, ancient and times of old, if you look up the studies of it, and according to the pagan terms in this book, it says pagan terms removed, God is the same as Baal. So they say, in Baal we trust, and they're not lying. Can't you see all the blood sacrifice and deaths and murder that they allowed to go on in space? We act like you're so far-fetched and you so far ahead in IQ, but you can't even come up with ways where children can stop being killed and slaughtered, and people can freely abort babies and all kinds of things. It's just like murder drives this place. Blood, 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 blood. It's disgusting. It says, verse 20, he that is so impoverished that he hath no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Have you not been told from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? Really great, deep questions, serious questions. Have you not heard? Have you not known? Have you not been told from the beginning? The foundation. What was the foundation? The word of the Most High. It's not a book that you can take gems from. It is the foundation you need to be living from. You take from his word and not apply it to your life, you are a person worthy of the plagues. He said it in Isaiah 40. So to everyone out here that could be waking up and you're strong, trying to shadow fist and fence and figure out if you're rocking with Ahaya or Allah, you better find out right now who you're rocking with. Yahweh, Yehuda, Yahuwah, all y'all on the sideline bench. I'm not worried about y'all. We already dealt with y'all. We're coming for the Allah and Ahaya because that's the principality realm we're about to be dealing with our people that are still messing around in that foolishness. Talking about Minister Farrakhan, Nick Cannon did refer him, and that could be the reason of his awakening for where he's coming to. If that's where he stays, then that's just portion. Most High said in his word, he put a difference between the children of Jacob and the Egyptians. We could still be living amongst Egyptians who came out of the wilderness with us, who blended in with our family members. And that could be also reasons why some people or Negro don't grow beards or stuff like that. They could probably have Egyptian blood. You never know. Verse 22, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain. Grasshoppers that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Check that. That bringeth the princes to nothing. He maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. Yeah, they shall not be planted. Yeah, they shall not be sown. Yeah, their stalk shall not take root in the earth. He shall also blow upon them. They shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble.
What's that phone?
Probably with him. It says as stubble. Just like that stone in the vision of Nebuchadnezzar when he seen that statue that was the creator showing him, my son is going to crush all your kingdoms like powder, nothing. Because he going to rule with a rod of iron. Y'all think y'all seen something. Y'all thought y'all was strict with your Roman Hellenistic ways of slaughter and murder. You watch and see. Y'all should come in here dipped in blood from Basra. He say, yep. To whom will they liken me? Or shall I be equal, saith the Holy One? Lift up your eyes on high and behold, who have created these things that bringeth out their hosts by number. He called them all by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one failing. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speaketh, O Yasharon, my way is hid from Ahiah, and my judgment is passed over from Ishiohim? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? That the everlasting Ishiohim, Ahiah, thy creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is he weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon Ahiah shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. This verse is telling you when that transformation comes, you are going to be like how I dreamt, that you're going to be able to fly up, save people. You're going to mount up. When it says mount up, you're going to stand, and a mount up is like when you see an eagle, you're going to have the ability to do that. You're going to be literally mounting up. And as I was washing last night, the Spirit said this to me, and now I'm in confirmation today why he says, Isaiah 40. They that wait upon Ahiah. Anybody have any hint or you sniff any Egyptness, Muslim, Allah, any of that? Anywhere in the crevices or the scene? They are unclean unto you. They're going to be anti unto you pretty soon. Don't be confused because they're grown. Thus saith the Most High. He had to get our attention. Say, come here, children, sit down real quick. I know y'all tired, and I know some things look like it's all right, but I told you, Matthew 24, be not deceived. Matthew 24, be not deceived. It's a kingdom against kingdom. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. Pray you all had a swell and wonderful meal with me. Just understand this one part, as far as this thing with the vaccination stuff going around. I want you all to hear this scripture, okay? 1 Corinthians 19 is not just meant to be for those who abuse themselves. It's also for those who want to abuse those who are trying to protect themselves, because now we're seeing the season. Oh, the scriptures are coming more alive than ever before. And I pray you all are in agreement with that and y'all see that. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High? Ye are not of your own, for ye are bought with a price. What price were you bought with? You were redeemed already. So it means those that have been redeemed have already been sealed and signed. And the Most High, John, Yohanan 17 will prove it to you, because those are those who Yahshua prayed for that the Father will keep. Those are who he redeemed. Okay, he said, all that are yours are mine, all that are mine and yours, I give them unto you. Okay. For you are brought with a price. Therefore, glorify Ahiah in your body and in spirit, which is the Most High's. So if you glorify him in your body and in spirit, then you're in accordance with spirit and in truth, because your body is a temple. Understand the Pope came out with a confession video saying that those that keep the Sabbath will be hunted like dogs. But I feel bad for those that hunt down those, because the Most High Creator is going to hunt you. So we see pretty soon the decree of the vaccination is going to come forth. But first of all, you want to be one of those that live past COVID to even see that. That will be a blessing if you see that stage to be threatened, to even have the glory and the honor to be able to be mortalized or be redeemed. because he said he's going to gather his land. We just read that in Isaiah 40. So if you don't mind, brothers and sisters, please let's meditate in Isaiah 40, okay, and really eat Isaiah 40 and stay in there, okay, and just allow our spirit to direct us in it. I want to play a song really quick as I get something to drink, and then I'm going to read some more out of the black and it's because I haven't come on that one day. I've been getting so caught up because I got princess little girl's hair to do. So I'm doing this now. That way, when she's up, I can finish her hair and then I ain't gotta worry about it. All right. So yeah, we're gonna be right there when I come back. I'm gonna play this song. Hopefully. Oh wait, already. Wait, I'm gonna play it again. Yeah, I just played it.
Don't let Babylon break you. Don't let them break your soul. In time, stay woke is going down. We gonna wake up the tribes. How willing. What you cooking? Last days. We about to wake up the tribes. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke is going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. In time. Stay woke is going down. Babylon trying to break my soul. Holy Spirit come down. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. We in the truth, now they scared of us. They knew that Jacob would rise. We don't want problems, we just want to do the
I want to show y'all something.
But this is on in the zone, got angels with
This is
us
my family potent.
We about to wake up the tribes. I can't fall for no
Make that body right.
Straight out the Bible.
Solution.
Give me the truth with no feelings attached. We just gonna give them the facts. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6. I cannot say them relax.
Nope.
I had to go to the end.
Yep.
Run it back.
I had to go to the end. This here I got from Dollar General is a jar that I put turmeric, cloves, cinnamon, ginger, a little bit of honey in here. This would be always in the house where everybody, instead of just going in the fridge and get something to drink, this is required everybody get a cup of that. Everybody in this house. So I suggest you all try to do it as well.
We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud.
So I'm drinking now. Give your body more bitters than ever. Remember, the lamb was prepared with bitter herbs. Bitter herbs, family.
We just been keeping it cordial.
Yep.
Changing the slave name. Never told us we was royal. Now we
Right.
keeping our houses in order.
Yep.
Religion I follow the Savior. Only Messiah can save us. Some say it's a fairy tale, but our faith will never waver. Scripts jumping off the pages. Well, we about to wake up the tribes. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes.
You know what's so sad, man?
Not cry loud. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to you
We about to
right
wake up the tribes.
he's saying through the spirits that they'll say it the Most High. Not a lot of his people really want this truth. Believe it or not, no matter how many they look up, he said, don't be fooled by it. They don't really want his truth. A lot of people are wanting to be liberated for other selfish reasons. It's so sad that two beautiful, in the past week, he brought to my attention two beautiful little, very dark melanated sisters, young little girls. I have opened my home to from their parents. Open my home up to allow them to learn about the truth of the Most High. And it seemed as though their mothers had like some resistance to them, that they would rather them be a part of other things like Girl Scouts and going to Philly for music videos. And I'm just like, you took the child from me to do what? Okay, that's fine. That's your kid. I'm your child. But you'd rather, most I said, they'd rather sacrifice their child than to bring their child unto me. That's why he says, suffer not the little children to come unto me. You're suffering them when they don't come unto the Father. That's what the Father's saying. So that was just something he dropped in my spirit. I just wanted to share because it upset me. I don't need people reading me wrong. He be letting me know what thoughts be coming at me on this channel. So I will not even acknowledge him. I just test side note for being Abba, little stuff just for me between me and Abba. But I then know how to address and deal and move with those things that those gems and revelations Abba gives me concerning people's perceptions and things that they're coming as they're watching. But I'm not here for their perceptions. I'm here for his work. His work be done, not mine. All right. So I want to go ahead and read the rest and where we was at. Um, oh, we were that far. All right. So we're in the chapter of the book. Yeah, we were this from chapter 6, that you know who we are, on page 81 of the Black Indians and the Hidden Heritage. Okay, by William Loren Katz. All right. Okay. I'm gonna start right here. The job was finally handed to a young white lieutenant from New York, John L. Bullis, a man of striking contradictions and an unconventional soldier. He proved as tough as his men. Bullis was a Quaker who enlisted as a Union private in the Civil War. In the Union as private in the Civil War. As an officer, he volunteered to lead black now filled with traditional army training. He was picked to command the most unorthodox fighting force the U.S. had ever handed rifles. Clearly a man willing to charge uphill, Bulls had met and married Alicia Rodriguez, a Mexican woman, in Texas, and in 1872. This was considered as outrageous as leading black Indians. The strong relationship that developed between the short, slight, weary officer and his scouts made their work unusual, effective. Bible in hand, Bullis was invited to Seminole villages to perform marriages and baptism, since their own marriage probably did not win them many friends at the fort. The couple may have spent considerable time with the Seminoles. On the trail, Bullis and his scouts quickly became a fighting fist, bold and loyal, risking death for each other. Scout Joseph Phillips recalled the relationship in the woods. The scouts thought a lot of Bullis. Lieutenant Bull, oh, I read that. Yep, Bullis was the only officer that ever did stay the longest with us. That fella suffered just like we all did out in the woods. He was a good man. He was an in-Joan fighter. He was tough. He didn't care how big a bunch they was. He went into them every time. But we looked out for his men. His men was on equality too. He didn't stand and say, go yonder. And we would say, come on, boys, let's go get him. So he wasn't the kind of commander they're saying, the Quaker who was thinking he was better than them. He seen the black soldiers, the Seminole, soldiers as equal with him. They say he seen equality, and his soldiers did the same. So he didn't run with people, even let them run with him if they didn't have that mindset. Under Bullis' careful guidance, the Seminole Negro Indian Scouts drove their incomparable skills into the battle against crime in Texas. Why do you think this whole rival thing with the brother Jerry Master J is rising up and they're mentioning Texas? Texas was an issue back then. They could pick up a trail 3 weeks old, track foes who believed they had eluded all pursuers, and then surprise a target when least expected. On the trail, they lived by uncovering hidden springs and eating the rattlesnakes they caught. Talking about the Gentile soldier. They also remember they didn't have Torah. All right. They also remained alive by keeping a sharp eye on each other. On April 25th, 1875, Bullis Sergeant John Ward, trumpeter Isaac Payne, and Private Pompey Factor were tracking a party of 25 Comanche rustlers. They came on their quarry and 75 stolen horses near the Pecos River at Eagle's Nest, with a daring that bordered on foolishness. The 4 men challenged the 25. That's what's up. I know that's right. When the Comanche realized they faced only 4, they charged with Winchester rifle fire during driving the scouts back toward their horses. As the Seminoles galloped off, Sergeant Ward turned and saw that Bullis had fallen from his mount and Comanches were closing in on him. We can't leave the lieutenant, boys. Ward shouted, and the 3 scouts wheeled their horses and raced back. As Ward reached Bulls, a bullet cut his carbine sling, and another shattered his rifle stock. He reached down and pulled Bulls up on his horse, and the 2 galloped away. Bulls whistling past them. I just saved my hair by jumping on my sergeant's horse back of him. Bulls later wrote. This is the man Bulls. All right. It says, during the most active campaigns, 1873-1882, the scouts were led by White Lieutenant John L. Bullis, a soldier who joined them in protesting their terrible mistreatment by the military bureaucracy. Look at that. This was a soldier who stood with us back then. Need I hold still? Mind you, this book is also the Black, let me say again, not also, what this book is, The Black Indians Hidden Heritage, brought to you by William Loren Katz. Okay. Check that out. Bullis formally requested that his men each receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. His request was honored, and for their valor, the 3 received the highest U.S. military decoration. End of omission. No amount of praise or medals won the Black Seminole Nation's dream of land. Yes, baby, and a peaceful life. Repeatedly. Chief John Horse led delegations to military authorities and handed the petition signed by his people. Let me stop right there. Where's Daddy at?
He's still at the store.
Oh, he's probably getting you something. Let me call him.
No, I want oatmeal.
The only kind we got here is the kind you don't like. That's the apples and stuff. I ain't got the cinnamon kind. I can make you the plain kind and make it maple. I'm not maple, but I can make it brown sugar cream and raisins.
Let's do it.
Okay. Who are you talking to? Ask me nicely. Come get some of your daily dose of this stuff I made. Come get some of this. It helps you when your stomach's really, really hungry. Come drink some and then I'll make it. You gotta get this in you first. Just have a sip. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Zebby's needs to be tended to. My husband's not here. So when I come back in a little bit, Abba willing, we'll be finishing on. And because it looks like it's getting ready to get good, and I don't want to deter away from this. So we're going to come back. Just please, I appreciate you all bearing, with me and taking care of my little Zebby here. And I will be back. So see you all shortly. Love you all. Shalom. All right, Zebby. I know your spirit ready to get in order.